the next session on MATLAB basics. In this session, we are going to take up the various MATLAB commands that are used. First, we'll see the commands for managing a session. MATLAB provides various commands for managing a session. The following table provides all such commands. Out of these, we have already seen few of them. The first one is CLC. This is going to clear the command window. When you use the clear option, it removes the variables from the memory. This is also something we have already done. Next one is exist. This will check for the existence of a file or a variable. When I use the command global, I am going to declare the variables that I am using are global. When you type help in the command window, you are searching for a particular topic and that's the help that you require. Look for is another command. It searches help entries for a keyword. Quit, when you type, it will stop your MATLAB immediately. Then there are two more commands. One is called as who. This lists all your current variables A, B, C, F, G, H, I, J, whatever you're using. It will be listing it down in one order. And when you add S to who, it becomes whose. It lists current variables long display. Now there is another command which is called as CD. CD stands for changing of directory. So when you change the current directory in which you are saving your documents, you can use the option CD for changing that. Next, when you type date, it will display your current date. When you type delete, it will delete a particular file. Say if I write delete, I'll show you here. Okay, let's write date first. You can see today's date has got displayed. Suppose if I write CD, this will show my directory in which I am storing. I can change the directory to some other directory. Now suppose if I want to delete a particular file like here, so I can just write here delete qcr.m. You can see this file which was here has got deleted. Next is diary. It will switch on and off diary file recording. When you're recording something, you can just switch on and off. When I write dir, it will list all files in the current directory. So these are all the files in this current directory which I am in. When I write load, it loads workspace variables from a file. From a particular file, if I want to bring all the variables and I want to check them, you just have to write load and then the file name. Path, it displays the search path. PWD, it displays the current directory. When I write save, it saves the workspace variables in a file. Type displays contents of a file. What? List all MATLAB files in the current directory. WK1 read, it will read the .wk1 spread file. So this is how you are going to use the commands. You can use them as and when required. I could show you a few of them. Now here, suppose if I want to clear all of these, I'll just write clear. You can see here to the right everything is cleared. And suppose if I want to write CLC, CLC will clear my command window. Now input and output commands, this is again very important. These are the commands used when you are writing a program. So when you are writing a particular code and you want to say read a particular data or you want to print a particular data, you're going to use certain commands from here. So we'll just see few commands that are available with us. DISP. It will display contents of an array or a string. fscanf. It will read the formatted data from a file. Format. It controls the screen display format. fprintf. It performs formatted writes to screen or file. Now this fscanf and fprintf is nothing but the scanf and printf that you must have studied in C language. This is for reading the data and fprintf is for printing the data. Input, it displays prompts and waits for input. And this semicolon is something which we have already used before. It suppresses screen printing. You can check out the video of arrays and matrices. At that time, I have already shown you how to use a semicolon to stop the printing work from happening. We don't want to see the value. I'll just show you once again. Suppose if I write A is 10, you can see A is equal to 10 is visible here. Now suppose if I write A is equal to 10 and I put a semicolon, it is not printing the value. Now we will see a few more format codes that are used for input and output commands. Suppose if you are writing %s, this will format as a string, which means when you write %s and a particular variable A, say I write A is equal to earth, and I write down somewhere I want to print %s A. Instead of A, what will appear is earth. So when you want to use a string, you're going to use %s. %d is used for an integer. %f is used for a floating point value. Integer means it's not a decimal value. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity, and also the negative values. And when I say floating point value, it could be 45.5, it could be 50.9. So that is very important. %e is the format as a floating point value in scientific notation. For example, if the value is 45 lakh, then instead of writing 45 and then 5 zeros after it, you can just write down 45 E5. So when I write in the term of E5 or 10 raised to something, this is your floating point value in scientific notation. %g is the format in the most compact form of %f or %e. So suppose if you are writing in a compact form, you can use %g instead of %f or %e. /n is used to insert a new line in the output string. And /t is used to insert a tab in the output string. Next is some format functions which you can see here, and how it is going to display is what we are going to see. Suppose if you write format short, it will show the value as 4 decimal digits. This is a default setting of MATLAB. When I say format long, it is showing 16 decimal digits. Format short e, it is 5 digits plus exponent, like e raised to something. Format long e is 16 digits plus exponents. Format bank is 2 decimal digits. Format plus is going to be positive, negative or 0. Format RAT is rational approximation. So when you just approximate a rational number. Format compact, it suppresses some line feeds. Format loose, it resets to less compact display mode. So when you want to move from one to another, you can use these format functions. Now exactly how they are used, I'll show you when I write some programs for it. Next we'll talk about vector, matrix and array commands. The first command is cat. This is concatenate arrays. This is used for joining two arrays. So we use the command cat. Next is find. It finds indices of non-zero elements. Length, it computes number of elements that are present. Line space, LINSPAC, be careful with the spelling. It creates regularly spaced vector. Log space creates logarithmically spaced vector. Max returns largest element. Min returns smallest element. Prod, it is used for product of each column. Reshape changes the size. Size, it is used for computing the array size. So if you want to know the size of the array, you can use the command as size. Sort, it will sort each column. Sum, it sums each column. Then you have EYEI. It creates an identity matrix. When I use the command once, it creates an array of ones. Zeros, it creates an arrays of zeros. The zero command is something that I've already shown you. So you can just go back and check it. The matrix and array videos, I'll just show you once. Suppose if I write zeros, 1, it is only indicating 1, 0. Suppose if I write zeros, 1, 1, it's still 0. When I write zeros, 2, 3, you can see here there are 2 rows, 3 columns. Same way if I write ones, 4, 4. This is a 4 by 4 matrix which is containing only the number 1. Suppose if I write I 2, 2, this is the identity matrix 2 by 2. Suppose if I write I 3, 3, this is a 3 by 3 identity matrix. So you can just study this by this pattern. Next you have cross, it computes matrix cross products. Dot is going to go for dot product. DET, it is going to find the determinant of an array. Suppose if I have an array A is equal to and if I want to find its determinant, it's minus 38. You can just use these commands and you can find. INV stands for inverse of a matrix. So suppose if I want to find inverse A, this is how I'm going to get the value. Next is P inverse, computes pseudo inverse of a matrix. You can find the rank of a matrix by rank command, and RREF is going to compute reduced row echelon form. Next is cell. So it creates cell array. Cell display, it will display the cell array. Cell plot, it will display the graphical representation of cell array. Num to cell, it converts numeric array to cell array. And deal will match input and output list. ISCell, it will identify a cell array. So these are all the commands used for matrix, vector and arrays. When we are going to write commands, I'll show you the application. Next, when I talk about plotting, I have some values and I want to plot. So these are the commands which are used. One is called as axis, it will set the axis limits. Fplot, it will show some intelligent plotting of functions. Grid, it will display the grid lines. Plot generates XY plot. Print, it will print the plot or saves the plot to a file. Title is used for giving a text at the top of the plot. X label gives the x-axis a name. Y label will give a name to the y-axis. Axis creates an axis object. Close will close the current plot. Close all will close all the plots that are done. Figure will open a new figure window. G-text enables label placement by mouse. Hold freezes the current plot. Legend, it is the placement by the mouse of the legend. Refresh, it redraws the current figure window. Set specifies properties of objects such as axis. Subplot creates plots in subwindows. Text places string in figure. bar creates bar chart, log will create a log plot, polar will create a polar plot, semilog x will create a semilog plot along the logarithmic abscissa x-axis, and semilog y will create along the ordinate, that is the y-axis. Stairs creates stairs plot and stem creates stem plot. So we will take up a particular session on these commands wherein I'll plot and show you various types of graphs. So with this I end the session. I hope you have made a list of these commands. If you have any doubts, please write to me in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for latest video updates. See you in the next session. Thank you.